What's going on, everyone? Spartan Alphazulu here, bringing you more Pokemon Wi-Fi battle action against JoeyFontaine in the UU tier. Looking at his team, Beedrill, Sesamatoad, Latios, or is that Latias? I don't even remember anymore. But let's get ready to rock and roll, and let's see how this is going to play out. Me and Joey battle all the time, and you guys probably wonder, hey, Spartan Alphazulu, you and Joey battle all the time. Well, that's because we do. He's in my Discord server. He's an awesome guy. Check out his YouTube channel. I'm going to link it in the description. And he's going to start off with Darmanitan. And if you remember Darmanitan, it's usually an awesome Choice Scarf user because it learns U-Turn, it learns Flare Blitz. It has a pretty awesome move library. I started off with Machamp. I don't want to lose Machamp just yet because oddly enough, his defensive stat is lower than his special defensive stat. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into Hippowdon, and he's going to U-Turn, seeing the switch, getting some pivot tempo going. So Joey's already kind of in a good start because I switched, and he can bring in a Pokemon that can just take out my Hippowdon or, taunt it or something, and he's going to go with Sesamatoad. So that tells me, he's going to set up his entry hazards. I'm going to go ahead and set up mine, and we're just going to have, a rather similar turn 2, which sure enough, turn 2 in the game. Stealth Rocks for Sesamatoad and Stealth Rocks for Hippowdon, and ooh, this battle's, getting going somewhere. So both of us have entry hazards up, and I hate Sesamatoad, man. He's a freaking pain in the butt. But he's an awesome wall. He's an awesome defensive wall. He's going to go ahead and go for the Scald. And Hippowdon actually is going to get dealt a very good amount of damage by that Scald. And he's going to get the burn, which in my last video I told y'all I'm going to get hit with a Scald and get burned. And sure enough. So I'm going to go ahead and roar away that Sesamatoad, bringing in the Zeraora. And I'm kind of thinking Hippowdon can take whatever this guy has to deal, because Zeraora's attack is high, but it's not that high, and Hippowdon's got a high defense, but he does not have a high special defense, boys and girls. So Hidden Power Ice is probably going to take Hippowdon out of the match, and it sure as heck does. So now Joey went ahead and got first blood there, which sucks. I got some catching up to do. My Pokemon that's coming in next is going to make up for lost ground. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in Haxorus and just see if we can get the, I know I'm not going to sweep, but I want to try and make a dent in his team at least because it's too early in the game to sweep. He's going to go ahead and go for the Z move, the all-out pummeling, and I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Dance and just see if I can set up and just knock some dents into this team. So he's going to go, anyways, as I said, he's going to go for all-out pummeling, and the bad thing about Zeraora is his attack stat just is not that great, although his speed is pretty freaking amazing. I'm not sure what his attack is at an adamant nature, so maybe Zeraora could be my next Pokemon breakdown. I got one, I just don't use him as often. But he's an electric cat, and if that's not cool, I don't know what is. All Out Pummeling, putting Haxorus in the red with 24 health, and I'm going to get my Dragon Dance off and raise my speed to ridiculous levels, raise my attack to ridiculous levels, and I'm going to go ahead and see if if he keeps Zeraora in, it's going to get taken out by this Earthquake. I don't think I saw a flying type in his on his team. He had that Rotom, that Grass Rotom, but I have Mold Breaker. I don't got to worry about that. Earthquake on Zeraora is definitely going to knock it out of the match. So now he's going to go ahead and bring in that Sesamatoad, and it's going to take a little bit of Stealth Rock damage, which is not that big of a deal, but I don't think I really got anything in Haxorus' arsenal that can take this baby out. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Z move. We're going to go for the Devastating Drake, and that should take it out of the match, because although Sesamatoad is an awesome defensive wall, after a Dragon Dance, Haxorus just becomes a pretty nifty wall breaker if you're not looking to sweep with him. And I probably should have kept this Haxorus back, because maybe I could have swept with him, but I did see Latios, or Latias, one of the red one, whichever one that is. Tell me please, because I don't know. I did see that on his team, and if it's holding a Choice Scarf, it for sure is gonna outspeed Haxorus after a +1 Dragon Dance. And I said in the last video, Haxorus doesn't outspeed everything after a Dragon Dance, and he does not, because as you can see, this Latios is going to Psyshock my Haxorus right out of the match. But I took out 2 Pokemon, and I made up for the lost ground that I lost. So now me and Joey are even. We're on even ground. But he's stuck in a Psyshock. I'm going to bring in Scizor, because I know that, he's got really nothing. Psyshock is not going to do much to Scizor. And I can either knock off or U-turn and take this Pokemon out of the match. And I'm going to go ahead and go for the Pursuit, because I thought he was going to switch. My Scizor does not know Pursuit anymore. I took it off because I didn't like it. It requires a lot of prediction, and that just gives me headaches because, as you've seen from my battles, I'm not that good at predicting. So I took off Pursuit, and I went with Knockoff, and I like that a lot better. He's going to bring in his Darmanitan back into the game. Stealth rock damage, doing what it does best, putting that Darmanitan at some, lower health. And I'm going to bring in my Primarina. Hey, got it on the first try. I'm going to bring in Primarina, and he's going to Flare Blitz. And I saw that coming. I was hoping Primarina could just take it and then Hydro Pump in return. But no, Darmanitan, sporting that awesome freaking attack that it has, does a crap ton of damage to Primarina. Not very effective, my butt. And Primarina is going to get 2-KO'd by that Flare Blitz by Darmanitan. And I'm going to lose Primarina here. So that sucked. That was a very just hard-hitting Flare Blitz. So I'm wondering if this is choice banded, because that was as I said, that was a very hard hit. But I'm just going to keep with the assumption that it's Scarf, because, I feel like it's better to put a Scarf on Darmanitan than a ban. But I don't know, maybe Joey can clarify in the comments. Joey, if you're watching this, was Darmanitan Scarfed or banded? Let us know, man. He's going to bring in his Rotom, and I'm going to Mega Evolve Manectric and do a Volt Switch. I could have gone for the Overheat, but I'm not quite sure if that would have taken it out. And I don't want to, I want to take this Pokemon out. That's the point of this game. So I'm going to Volt Switch, which is not going to do anything to Rotom because of its Grass and Electric typing. But I'm going to go ahead and bring in Machamp and see if I can just Dynamic Punch out and, make his turns into dice rolls. Do what I do, but do what Machamp does best. And he's going to go ahead and get the Defog off here, getting rid of all entry hazards across the board, which I'm perfectly okay with. I'm okay with that. I felt like I kind of benefited more from those entry hazards than he did, so I don't got to worry too much about it. Dynamic Punch on Rotom, doing a crap ton of damage. It does not take it out of the match, sadly. I should have just gone for the Ice Punch right off the bat. I don't know why I didn't. I just like Dynamic Punching things. That's my problem. That's whenever I'm battling with Machamp, sometimes I think, should I go with Ice Punch or should I just Dynamic Punch off the bat? And I just like hitting things with Dynamic Punch. Rotom is not going to hit itself in Confusion. It's going to Leaf Storm, dealing a good amount of damage to Machamp, but he stays in the green, flexing at that Leaf Storm with his Assault Vest, and Dynamic Punch is going to take this Rotom right out of the match. So me and Joey in this match are kind of just Pokemon for Pokemon. I'm taking one out, he's taking one out. I'm taking one out, he's taking one out. And this is a really, just both teams are just really offensive aside for our two walls that we had, which are now out of the game. And he's going to bring in his Mega Beedrill, whose speed and attack stats just go to stupid levels once it Mega Evolves. And I'm hoping that Machamp can take this Poison Jab here, but the adaptability ability, funny how that works, makes stab moves 2 times instead of 1.5 times more powerful. And that is definitely going to take Machamp out. And I'm going to bring in Scizor because I think Bullet Punch will OHKO, because Beedrill's defenses are beyond paper, and Bullet Punch from a choice banded Scizor, knocking that Beedrill right out of the match at full health. So for those of you that know, an Adamant Scizor with Bullet Punch and a choice band will OHKO Beedrill. He's going to bring his Darmanitan back in. I'm not going to switch. I'm going to Bullet Punch and do a very good amount of damage, and the Flare Blitz, the recoil from Flare Blitz on Darmanitan, is going to take Scizor out of the match, but it's also going to take, the recoil is going to take Darmanitan out of the match. So that was a very good game, Joey. Good game, man. I always have fun going against Joey, man. Joey's just awesome. I always have fun playing against him. Him and FMF and this next guy I'm battling, we go at each other's throats all the time. So good game, Joey. Good game, man. The link for his channel is in the description. Now going on battle with LaFlare, sticking to the UU tier. Me and LaFlare battle all the freaking time, and every time we battle, I cannot get a win against this guy, and it's super frustrating. There was one time I came close to getting a win, and it was when I was trying to do a Dragonite breakdown, and my Dragonite ended up hitting itself in Confusion. Because it hit itself in Confusion, I could not sweep his team, and I was just super frustrated about that. I'm going to go ahead and start with my Galvantula, and he's going to start with this Braviary, who's a Pokemon you don't see that much, but he is an awesome Pokemon. And he's going to go for the U-turn just to get Braviary out of there, get some Pivot Tempo going, and get him out of there. And I'm going to go, which I Sticky Webbed anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And he's going to bring in his Scizor, and Sticky Web is going to go up, which I don't really need Sticky Web on this team. I don't have an Adamant Pokemon I don't have a choice banded Pokemon like with Adamant Nature that could just benefit from, you know, my opponent's speed being lowered one stage. Going for the Thunder, and remember guys, Compound Eyes puts Thunder's accuracy at 90 instead of 70, making it an awesome freaking move that is, oh, you know, it'll barely miss. It will still miss, just barely. And Thunder getting a paralysis on Scizor, lowering that speed, which that's not that big of a deal because, I mean, most people go with Bullet Punch on Scizor anyway, but I mean, free turns, the possibility of free turns is awesome. So I'm going to switch Galvantula out. I don't want to lose him just yet, and I'm going to go ahead and go with Swampert. And Swampert's just going to tank this Bullet Punch and laugh at it, flexing at it. And I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks in return here because Scizor, after that attack being lowered from Superpower, Scizor's not going to do much to Swampert. So he's going to go ahead and swap. He's going to switch out here. And I'm going to set up my entry hazards, and he's going to bring in his Blissey. Blissey is an awesome freaking special wall. But Blissey is a special wall. She does not take physical moves well by any means. So that is one thing you need to watch out if you use Blissey. I love Blissey. Blissey will always have a place in my heart, just from the Diamond and Pearl days. I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks, but I'm going to switch because Blissey is notorious for having that move Toxic. I don't want I don't want Swampert to get hit with a Toxic. So I'm going to switch into Infernape and just kind of threaten the Blissey out, which he saw the switch coming anyway. And he's going to switch back out into his Scizor, which still puts me in the upper hand here. And Infernape is like one of the Scizor checks next to Rotom Heat. So I'm still in a good position here, and the Stealth Rocks are just going to lower Scizor's health. And he's going to swap out again, not wanting to take a Flare Blitz or, you know, anything, because at that health, anything I do is probably going to take out Scizor. And he's going to bring in his Donphan, and Donphan is just kind of going to take this U-turn here. I went ahead and went for the U-turn, figuring he was going to switch. If you remember Donphan from the Diamond and Pearl days, then you know it's an awesome defensive wall, and you know it's a rapid spinner, which is very important on this team. I'm going to U-turn in and bring in Celebi to just kind of threaten Donphan back out, because I want to scare it away. I don't want him to U-turn to rapid spin and get rid of my entry hazard. So he's going to switch out and bring Scizor back in, because as I said in one of my earlier videos, Celebi can't really do much to Scizor unless it knows Hidden Power Fire, which, if that gives you an idea for a Celebi, you're welcome. Because back in the Diamond and Pearl days, as I said, Celebi knew Hidden Power Fire specifically because Scizor just kind of stares it in the face and does what it wants. So I went for the nasty plot, but I'm going to switch out. Thankfully, he did not Pursuit, and I'm going to switch back out into Swampert because Celebi's not doing much to Scizor at all, because my Scizor does not know Hidden Power Fire, which I think I would put it on there. I might, actually. And Bullet Punch, not doing anything to Swampert. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can go for the Scald at this point, maybe taking the Scizor out of the match. But he's going to switch out again. And that surprised me, because Stealth Rocks, I think at that point, Stealth Rocks are going to be Scizor's undoing here. So I feel like LaFlare should have just let that Scizor go. But, I mean, I can understand why, because Bullet Punch is still a thing. It still can rock the tier. And it has. You've seen videos of me doing it. But Scald is not going to do anything to Blissey being the awesome special wall that she is. And I'm going to swap Swampert out because, as I said, I do not want to get hit with that Toxic attack. I know it has it. It either has Toxic or Thunder Wave. Usually it's Toxic, but very seldomly you'll run across a Blissey with Thunder Wave. So I'm going to swap back into Infernape to see if I can threaten the Blissey out. And sure enough, it's Toxic. Thankfully, it is Toxic and not Thunder Wave, because Thunder Wave would have just hurt Infernape so much, lowering my speed, and that would have sucked. But anyways, I'd prefer Toxic over Thunder Wave any day. So my Infernape is at least on a clock here, but I can U-turn out if I need to. I'm going to go ahead and go for the close combat, though, because I kind of just... if he brings in Donphan, I want to see what close combat will do to it. If he brings in Scizor, I'll take it out. If he brings in any other Pokemon, it's going to get hit really hard. So I know he's going to switch out because he does not want to lose Blissey yet. And as I said, those Stealth Rocks are just going to be the demise of Scizor. So, giving me first blood thanks to Stealth Rocks damage. Scizor is out of the match. And that Toxic is just slowly going to dwindle down my Infernape. So I don't want to keep Infernape in too long here. And he's going to bring in Donphan. I got a feeling now that I'm locked in close combat, he's going to go for the Rapid Spin. I got a Gengar, though. Hopefully he does not go for the Earthquake. So I'm going to switch, because I figured he wouldn't, because I got Stealth Rocks up. I got the Web up. He's got Entry Hazards to get rid of. So I'm going to go into Gengar, hopefully blocking the Rapid Spin and keeping my Entry Hazards there. Sure enough, Rapid Spin does not affect Gengar thanks to its Ghost typing, and those Entry Hazards are not going anywhere. So Gengar lost Levitate this generation, which sucked. But I'm going to go ahead and Destiny Bond because that means he can get hit with ground moves. And Earthquake is definitely going to take my Gengar out of the match. But thanks to me using Destiny Bond, I'm going to take the Donphan with me. And that is turning, a very big disadvantage that Gengar had into an advantage. And Destiny Bond doing the come with me, taking that Donphan out. Little poltergeist there for my older fans. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go with my Mega Aerodactyl. And he's going to bring in his Braviary. I know Stone Edge will definitely tear this Braviary a new one. So I'm going to Mega Evolve, going for the Stone Edge, and let's see what it does. And I only took out 2 of his Pokemon. It feels like I took out a lot more at this point. But there was a lot of switching and pivot tempos in the beginning of this match. So anyways, I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, but no! Dodge, duck, 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 dodge! And I'm going to get hit with a superpower, which sucks. But that's why it's called Stone Mist for a reason. You gamble when you use Stone Edge. And as awesome of a move as it is just a big gamble because it misses a lot. And that's why it's called Stone Mist. So he's going to switch out Braviary, not wanting to lose it, bringing in Blissey. And although Blissey does not like defenses, or does not like physical attacks, Stone Edge netting a critical hit here, and Blissey surprisingly takes it. Although it's in the red, and I do outspeed it, that was a surprise to me. That was impressive. That was an impressive feat I did not expect. I'm going to Ice Fang, taking Blissey out of the match, and now he's down 3 Pokemon. So at this point, with this going on, there's not much to do now. He's going to bring in that Maletta. I don't know. He's gonna bring in Maletta, and I got a feeling that I can just kind of take this Pokemon out. I didn't know this was coming. He's gonna end up going for the Z move, the Z Celebrate, which got me a little worried here. Z Celebrate is a stupid freaking Z move, man. And what that does, for those of you that don't know, it increases all stats by 1 stage, meaning the speed stat is gonna go up, special defense, attack, all that. It's all gonna go up 1 stage. And I thought I don't know if I would have gotten swept, but I kind of thought I was in trouble here. Luckily enough, though, Aerodactyl, just having the awesome speed stat it has, still outspeeds the Maletta after the Z Celebrate. And Pursuit is going to take it out of the match. I don't know if that crit mattered. We'll just say it did. Maybe. I don't know. He's going to go ahead and bring in his Sharpedo. And I thought Sharpedo was the Mega here, because Mega Sharpedo is just awesome. But no, it wasn't. Did he show his Mega already? I can't remember. But anyways, I'm going to bring Aerodactyl back, not wanting to lose it to Mega Sharpedo. I'm going to bring in Swampert, and yes, Mega Sharpedo does have the move Speed Boost. And for those of you that watch my videos, you're probably wondering, if you don't know, or if you have no knowledge of the Pokemon tiers, why Blaziken, who has Speed Boost, was thrown into the Uber tier. I'm sorry, and Mega Sharpedo was not. And the reason, I think, is because the move libraries. Blaziken has a move library that can pretty much hit a lot of stuff in every tier for neutral damage and deal a lot of damage to it, whereas Mega Sharpedo not so much. Because I kind of resist his Sharpedo, or not Mega Sharpedo, but Sharpedo not so much, because I kind of just resist his Sharpedo all around. Yes, he's hitting me for neutral damage, but its attack stat just is not that impressive that I gotta worry about it. I'm gonna Roar, bringing in his Braviary. And with his Mega Sharpedo at that low of health, the Stealth Rocks are just going to do the job for me. And I know that Swampert can just laugh at Braviary all day. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Scald and try and get the burn. And he's going to Thrash. Thrash doing more damage than I expected. That was a lot of damage there. And I'm going to Scald, see if I get the burn. Luckily enough, I do get the burn, just crippling that attack of Braviary. And now Swampert just does not have to worry about Braviary anymore. If you look, you saw the damage Thrash did pre-burn. Post-burn, take a look at this. He's going to go for the Thrash again. And just what burn does to the attack stat is just so crippling. Swampert just flexed at it that time. And Scald is going to take Braviary out of the match. I got Stealth Rocks up. The Sharpedo's at such low health that Stealth Rocks is going to take the Sharpedo out of the match. I don't think Laflare had a Mega this team. But this was my first official win against Laflare. So good game, man. Very good battle. It's always a pleasure battling you. It's always fun battling you. Good game, Joey. I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. be on the lookout for my next Pokemon breakdown in the UU tier. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. Join my Discord, guys. We're all waiting for you. Laters!